Welcome back to the Strata Automation Technical Channel. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to connect to your OpenStat via Wi-Fi, and then from there, how to configure it and all the different options and features that are available through the Wi-Fi menu. So first thing we're going to have to do is connect to our OpenStat. To do that, I'm demonstrating here via a PC with Windows 11 as well as an iPhone. It will show up as a Wi-Fi network with the SSID of OpenStat _ 6 characters following that are unique to that OpenStat. So you'll try to connect to that SSID and then you'll enter the password. The password will be Strato with a capital S _ and then those same 6 characters that are in the SSID. Within a few seconds, you should be connected then to the OpenStat, and then from there we can move over to the browser and actually try to reach this via the IP address. Now that we're connected, I'll demonstrate first how to connect from your PC. So in the URL bar of your browser, you'll want to enter https://192.168.4.1. You'll be met with a screen that says your connection is not private. You'll want to hit advanced and then proceed. You may have to accept a certificate as well that pops up. And then once you do that, you should be greeted with the login screen for the actual interface. Here, you're going to want to enter the username and password. The default username and password would be admin, all lowercase, and then the password is capital STR @TO25. Now that we're logged in, we should be greeted with the device config page. In this page, you'll see general information about the device that you're connected to, and you can make any changes as necessary. You just have to make sure to hit submit changes when you're done, otherwise they won't save. Moving on to the app config, we have all these different menus for configuring your device. You'll just click on the tabs on the left, and then use the drop-down menus and text boxes to enter the information for things like set points and equipment. And it should automatically save, indicated by the green check mark at the bottom of the screen, after you have entered the information or made the change. Moving on to the Objects tab here, you'll see all the different objects for this device. Right-click on one of them to edit them, and hit Edit Present Value. You can also see the full priority array and do any nulling out or overrides from this menu as well. I just enter a new value and hit confirm, or click on a value and follow the prompts to null it out. Next is the Wi-Fi tab. In the Wi-Fi tab, you'll see the access point mode, which is on by default. That's how we connected to this stat, as well as the station mode. Access point mode is what allows you to connect to the stat, and then station mode allows the stat to connect to another Wi-Fi network, say the site's network or your local network in your office. Any changes you make, just make sure to hit apply afterwards. The stat will reboot after you hit apply, but that's the only way to save the changes. Additionally, we recommend that upon final installation, you turn off the access point mode. It can always be re-enabled through the interface on the stat. We just recommend you turn that off so you don't have a bunch of OpenStat Wi-Fi networks clogging up your internet space. And then finally here in the dev config is the password, where you can change the default password, which we recommend you do, and just hit Save Changes. Next is the scheduler. You can toggle between day and week views of the schedule, using the arrows on the top left and the toggle on the top right. To add an occupied period, simply double-click in one of the cells. It'll default to a 15-minute increment. You can just click and drag to extend that as far or as little as you'd like. You can click the X on the orange to delete that cell and get rid of that. And then you can have up to 3 occupied periods per day. So you can go occupied or not occupied 3 different times throughout the day. Just make sure you hit save when you're done. Next is the update tab. This is where you can update the firmware manually. You just have to hit select files and then choose the file from your device. Once that's uploaded, you can hit update, and within a few minutes, the firmware should be updated. The device will reboot and you can reconnect to it. Next is the export and import configurations. So if I export the configuration, that will save it to my local machine, and then import configuration would allow me to import that same file or a different configuration file to this device to set it up based on that file. And then finally, we have the About tab. And what the About tab shows is just the Wi-Fi information for the actual hardware, the Wi-Fi chip. So you'll see information like the MAC address on there, which may be important for IT purposes. So now we'll move on and show you how to set it up via iPhone or another mobile device. Now from our mobile device here, since we're already connected, we'll go into a browser and enter that same IP address we did before, which is https://192.168.4.1. Again, you'll see a warning about the connection not being private. Go ahead, advanced, and then proceed. You may have to accept a certificate. You just click OK and move through that. And then you should be greeted with the login screen. The default username and password will be admin for the password, all lowercase. Or the username will be admin, all lowercase, and the password will be capital STR @TO25, which will take us to the device config page where we can make any and all changes to the backend information of the device. Any changes we make, we'll have to hit submit changes before that saves. Then in the app config, we can step through all the different menus using the drop-down menu at the top to select the different options. And then from there, we can make changes to the text boxes and other drop-down menus for the configuration, which will save after they are changed, indicated by the green check mark at the bottom of the screen. Once we've stepped through all of our different menus here, we can move over to the Object tab here. A little bit of a cramped view, but if you scroll, you can see all the different values. If you tap and hold briefly, it should give you the option to edit the present value of the object you're selecting. Once you do that, the priority array should pop up. And from here, you can null out values or enter a new value for an override at whatever priority you choose. You just have to hit submit changes. It'll give you a green check mark and say that whether or not that write was successful. Scrolling along the top here, we can move over to the Wi-Fi tab. Again, this is where we can set up the access point mode or disable it, or configure the station mode, which allows us to connect to a local Wi-Fi network, the stat itself, rather than us connecting directly to the stat like we're doing right now. So once we get the Wi-Fi network set up as we desire, we can move on to the password. In the password section here, we can set a new password as long as we enter the current password, and then we can just press submit changes. Again, we recommend changing that default password. Clicking the menu here at the top with the 3 lines, it allows us to move on to things like the radar config or the scheduler. In the scheduler here, using the drop-down menu at the top right, we can select day or week views, as well as the 2 buttons on the top left to cycle between different days. To add an occupied period, we have to double tap in one of the cells, which should populate it with an orange block. If we then tap on the block, we can drag it around the different cells, or if we tap inside, it should allow us to grab one of those 2 little lines and drag up and down to extend the period. And then we can have, again, up to 3 occupied periods per day. We just have to make sure to hit save changes when we're done. Again, hitting that menu at the top to go to the update section, we can select a file from our local device. What that allows us to do is upload that file and then update the device using that file. From there, we can move on to export configuration, which will allow us to export the existing configuration on this device or import a configuration from a file on our device. We just have to make sure to change the device instance and backend information so that we can apply it to this device. And then finally, we have the information tab, which will allow us to view the Wi-Fi information of the device, like the MAC address. And then at the bottom of the screen, you'll see that toggle theme. So if we want the dark view or light view, we can toggle the existing theme to swap between dark and light mode. So that's going to be it for configuring these two devices via two different methods. So thank you for watching and have a great day.